Unbelievable.
We start with a special showcase bout.
It's an absolute monster of a lightweight. What a moment! A history-making goal!
She wasn't going for goal, but she'll happily accept it.
It's gone all the way through, and look at this! Chewinga! Did you dare write Barcelona off?
The career of one of the all-time greats is all but over.
Nice comeback.
Uma oportunidade de dizer alguma coisa que eu acho que nunca disse.
Let's get this party started!
NFL Game Pass is now exclusively on DAZN.
Let's get this thing going.
Watch every game, plus the playoffs and Super Bowl.
To the end zone. What a play.
It's your all-access pass.
That's how you fight a southpaw. Well on his way to coming back.
Katie Taylor does it again. Look at the emotion.
Lemos. How do you like it? Off the shoulder.
So aggressive, so focused.
Look at these two guys. Still the undisputed champion of the world.
We welcome you to Fight Night in Las Vegas. On the northern end of the Vegas Strip sits Sin City's brand new Fontainebleau Hotel, and tonight, the Blue Life Theater opens its doors to World Championship Boxing as Richardson Hitchins, Diego Pacheco, and others promising young contenders continue the climb toward a world title on DAZN.
Good work with the right hand.
There's big statements to be made on April 6th, and you're going to see a world-class Guy Nicholson. And the new.
It is over.
I'm getting better, I'm getting stronger. This is the biggest fight of my life.
This is the Richardson Hitchins division. I'm here, and I'm just knocking at their door.
And we welcome you inside the Blue Life Theater here at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Las Vegas, along with Gabe Rosado, the WBA featherweight champ, Ray Savage Ford. I'm Justin Shackle. We're getting you set here on Before the Bell for a busy night of boxing in the fight capital. Coming up, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on DAZN. The 26-year-old Richardson Hitchins is back in the ring. He's making his 4th trip to Vegas in his pro career, but tonight's the first time that he is headlining an event in Sin City. He'll put his 17-0 record on the line as he takes on the hard-hitting 29-0 Argentine Gustavo Lemos in an IBF title eliminator. And Ray, we hear Richardson, he talks the talk, he also performs really well, a true technician within the sport. But what does he have to do in the ring tonight to sort of punctuate all that talk and the claims that he belongs in the same conversation as some of the hottest hitters in boxing's hottest weight class?
So we all know that, Richardson Hitchins is a great boxer. He can beat you on the scorecards unanimously every fight. But, the crowd want to start seeing him, step on the gas a little bit more, be a little more dominant, go for stoppages so he can be that, that household name that he want to be.
So tonight, a title eliminator for the IBF. The winner here likely will have a ticket punch to face the winner of Subriel Matias and Liam Pyro coming up in Puerto Rico on June 15th. And the co-feature here, Diego Pacheco is back in action. Many people say, hey, wait, Diego just headlined a main event over in his hometown in LA in November, and he did a terrific job stopping Marcelo Caceres in the 9th round. What's he doing as a co-feature? Well, it's tough to sometimes realize that Diego's only 23 years of age. He's accomplished so much already, 20-0 entering tonight's fight. Gabe, what are boxers behind the scenes saying about Diego Pacheco's potential?
Diego Pacheco, I think he's the guy that's going to take over the 168 division eventually, and I like that he's a main event guy in his last fight, but he's the co-main now, and I like that he's staying busy. That's the key in boxing, stay busy, stay active.
I think it's a common theme with a lot of these fighters on this card. They are all staying busy. They're not stagnating their careers. They're fighting often, maybe 3-4 times a year. So let's take a look at some of the running orders for tonight's show, starting with us on Before the Bell. We have 2 cards coming at you, starting in moments. Harley Medeiros back in the ring. The Bushwick native of Brooklyn in the ring against Pedro Vicente for 6 rounds. And then it'll be the pro debut for Steven Navarro, the 13-time national amateur champ, will debut here in Vegas against the tough-tested Jose Lopez. And one at super flyweight. Take a look at some of the odds for our Before the Bell fights here at the Fontainebleau, the Blue Life Theater, all presented by Bet Online. Medeiros, Vicente, Castro going up against Montoya on the main card. That one starting up at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. That will lead off that show as Mark Castro fights for his first pro title. And then you have the WBC featherweight strap on the line between Guy Nicholson, Sarah Mahfoud, Diego Pacheco, and the unbeaten Sean McCalman, who comes in at 15-0, the co-feature. And then, like we mentioned, Richardson Hitchins and Gustavo Lemos for the IBF title eliminator. Those are the odds presented by Bet Online. Check out more information at betonline.ag. Well, we're ready to go. Harley Medeiros, Pedro Vicente leading us off here on Before the Bell. So without further ado, let's kick off this show, the inaugural boxing event inside the Fontainebleau Hotel. Here is David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Fontainebleau here in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, for a big night of World Championship professional boxing. We begin tonight with a 6-round lightweight contest. Now making his way to the stage, de Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. Please welcome El Postal, Pedro Vicente.
35-year-old Pedro Vicente is 7-6-1 with 2 knockouts, but is in a bit of a dry spell here. He's been in and out of the ring with 14 fights spanning just under 12 years as a pro, and as he works full-time for the mayor of his hometown in Puerto Rico, he's also the owner of a landscaping business. Vicente's dropped 4 straight, all to undefeated opponents, and all but 1 have gone the distance. His most recent bout was a 6-round unanimous decision defeat to Ofacio Falcon on the Berlanga Quigley card last summer, and it was a fight that was originally scheduled to be against Medeiros, who will be making his ring walk in a matter of moments.
And now entering the arena, please welcome the young undefeated Brooklynite, goes by the name Dennis the Menace, Harley Medeiros.
Harley Dennis the Menace Medeiros, 5-0, 4 knockouts. He is making his return to action after a shoulder injury put him on the shelf for roughly 9 months, and he's appearing on his 3rd Matchroom card, including his most recent bout, which was last February in his hometown of New York City, here at a 6-round TKO over Julio Madera on the Serrano Cruz undercard. And his friend and fellow Brooklynite Richardson Hitchins fought on that show as well against John Bauza. Hitchins, of course, closing tonight's show as the main event against Gustavo Lemos, and Medeiros looks to open it by taking care of what he calls unfinished business against Pedro Vicente.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, good afternoon and welcome to the Fontainebleau here in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. We are live on DAZN for a big night of World Championship professional boxing. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored tonight by Bet Online, Stagefront, Everlast, and Riyadh Season. All of tonight's bouts are sanctioned under the auspices of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dallas Hahn. The executive director is Jeff Mullen. Introducing your 3 judges, scoring our first contest from ringside: Max DeLuca, Chris Migliori, and Corey Santos. At the sound of the bell, your 3rd man in the ring, referee Alan Huggins. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears white, black, and gold. He scaled 134.8 pounds. Professional record, 7 victories, 6 defeats, 1 draw, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Presentando de Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, please welcome El Postal, Pedro Vicente. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the red with white and blue trim. He scaled 134.6 pounds. His young professional record thus far perfect: 5 fights, 5 victories, with 4 of his 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, please welcome Dennis the Menace, Harley Medeiros.
Okay, Pedro, Dennis. Okay, be my commanders all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Anything from here up is good. Anything from here on up is good. Touch gloves. Good luck. Check this out.
Set to go for 6 rounds at lightweight as we begin our Before the Bell show here at the Fontainebleau Hotel. Gabe Rosado, Raymond Ford, Justin Shackle. It is Harley Medeiros in the red and white trunks and Pedro Vicente in the white and black as things get going here. And this is the MO, guys, with Harley Medeiros, a hard-hitting, top-ranked amateur who packs some serious thunder. And he's looking to find some range early.
He's already going for the knockout.
Yeah, man, he's super aggressive, but you know, Vicente, he's got some craft to him.
Well, the big question with Medeiros is can he harness that power and pace himself? Because we've seen him in 4 and 6 round fights. And again, yeah, thundering left hands to the body. And Vicente, along the ropes, is able to get back inside the middle of the ring.
I like Medeiros' mentality already.
Yeah, going for the kill.
Yeah, exactly. Touching his body early.
Ooh, nice.
Smacked him with a left hand. That buckled the legs of Vicente in the opening minute of the first round. And that's going to be ruled a knockdown.
Medeiros showing that power early.
Alan Huggins ruling that a knockdown. And again, those left hands finding a home upstairs and downstairs from Harley Medeiros.
And what you said, Raymond, is like he don't waste no time. He's going straight for the kill, and it's like,
exactly,
you know, showing this guy you're not on my level. I'm gonna just take you out of there.
Yeah, and I like that mentality.
The face of Vicente already turning a bit red for some of these punches. Medeiros ending a 14-month layoff.
Vicente is a tough opponent too. He's only been stopped 2 times out of 6 losses, 7 losses. So he's going to be able to take whatever Harley is throwing.
He's a 35-year-old veteran, no stranger to some tough competition. Comes to win. And again, this was supposed to be the fight on the Berlanga Quigley card in June. Another right hand lands for Medeiros, but Harley had to pull out about a week before the fight. He tore his subscapularis in his right shoulder, and that sidelined him for a number of months. He said it was only until recently that he started to feel pain-free. And he's inflicting the pain on Vicente in the opening round. Meets him another time with a left hand, and it just feels like Medeiros knows where the end point of his punches are going to be so easily right now.
Yeah, and he loads up, but the thing is, it's not, he's not telegraphing the shot. It's good speed to these hard blows that he's throwing.
A powerful opening round for Harley Medeiros. Knockdown.
Yeah, that was a great round for Medeiros. Started real strong, finished strong. But like I said, Vicente, he's going to be there possibly all night. Like I said, he can take a punch.
This is Vicente's 6th fight in the U.S., his 2nd in Las Vegas, and his first came against Mark Castro on the Canelo Bivol undercard back in May, as you see what led to the knockdown. And he went the distance with Mark Castro, who you're going to see on the main card.
Yeah.
So he is durable.
He's been the distance with a lot of great prospects. Otha Jones.
Medeiros coached by his father and Yoel Judah. And we're underway for round 2. You see Medeiros trying to establish the jab as we start round 2. And that's something that was called into question before his last fight. And he acquitted himself nicely. He really went off the jab against Medeiros on the way to getting the 6th round stoppage.
Yeah, Justin, I like that he's throwing that jab because, sometimes power punchers don't, it's just going for power. But he's setting it up with the jab. Everything follows up with the jab.
There it is again as it sets up a shot downstairs.
The only thing that I see from Medeiros that I would like for him to, work on is changing the speed of the punches and, you know, put a little more combinations together instead of looking for, you know, single shots.
Yeah, varying the speeds.
Yeah, exactly.
Overhand right.
Yeah, because then that gives Vicente the...
Oh! That's a tough knockdown. The right hand, and Vicente quickly to get to his feet.
But look, he's ready to go again. It's tough.
I think when he hit the canvas, it woke him up.
Woke him up, yeah.
Well, a lot of time for Medeiros here in the second round, and he starts to tee off.
You could just hear the shots. You could tell Medeiros is very heavy-handed. Just by him touching his gloves and arms.
Vicente now got that high guard because he knows that Medeiros is throwing that big wide hook.
And the ref is paying close attention to Vicente's, you know, body language.
Yeah, I don't think Alan Huggins blinked in about a minute. So moving back to the center, another crisp right hand from Medeiros. And like you mentioned, Ray, everything coming in kind of at the same speed. It's obviously worked for him thus far.
Yes. But, you know, stepping up in, you know, competition, those are things, you know, to look out for.
For sure. Definitely got to switch the speed up.
I think he should shoot a jab to the body, throw some feints in there, come up top with a straight right hand. I think that'll send him on his way home.
Earlier this week, Vicente felt that Medeiros is the fighter whose only mission is to knock his opponents out by throwing those bombs, and he thought, as again Harley lands another right hand, that he's going to tire himself out, and he keeps his chin up along the way. So Vicente hasn't taken advantage of that. Obviously, he's been taking some punishment, but he believes if he can get through the first couple of rounds, you're going to start seeing a more fatigued Harley Medeiros.
That's a smart game plan.
Through two, all Harley so far.
Curious to see if Medeiros could, you know, make that adjustment.
Switching up speed.
Switching it up, exactly. Yeah. Switching up speed, using some shoulder feints. Double up the jab a little bit more.
Take a look at some of the action from round two. And what led to that second knockdown in as many rounds, just a flush left hand to the chin.
Beautiful left hook.
Look like Zab is asking for that short right uppercut from Medeiros.
Start of round three, scheduled for 6 between Harley Medeiros and Pedro Vicente. Medeiros trying to improve to 6-0. Vicente at 7-6-1. This is Medeiros' first pro fight in Vegas. He's competed here as an amateur. Harley, a 17-time national champ, 2-time international medalist. A good two-punch combo there. Comes back upstairs with the right hand, and Vicente answers with a counter left.
It looks like Vicente is kind of used to Harley's power now.
Yeah, Vicente just landed 2 good counter left hooks.
I think it's combos like that didn't catch any of Vicente that Pedro was talking about. Those are the shots that is going to tire out a young fighter.
So another left hook that landed by Vicente.
Get a good shot of the brand new Blue Live Theater. This is the first boxing event inside this facility. And it all leads into the main event tonight. Richardson Hitchins back in action against Gustavo Lemos in the IBF 140-pound title eliminator. Check left hand, counter from Harley Medeiros.
Sensei is a very tough fighter.
What makes him a tough out, despite that record that probably throws some people off?
It's just the simple fact that he's in there still trying. He's been down already twice, rough 2 rounds, and he's still in there fighting, still giving it a try.
And he's landing some good shots, too.
Exactly.
His counter shots. I think Medeiros is still, you know, controlling the pace of the fight, but he's making a couple adjustments.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of steam taken off of Medeiros' punches a little bit.
And the output has slowed down as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Here in the third. And now Vicente getting a bit more inside.
Body shot.
See, he sense a little bit of frustration in Harley's demeanor here in the third.
Yeah, because Vicente is not supposed to be here anymore.
Harley's like, what you doing up, man?
Taking everything he's throwing at him.
Now Medeiros blocking him off in the corner.
Showing a good tight defense.
Yeah, Vicente is covered up upstairs. He knows what could follow after those jabs to the body. This has been a good bounce back round for Pedro Vicente.
Good round right there.
To open up with 2 10-8 rounds for Medeiros, and then in the eyes of the judges, conceivably, you might have a round 1 there by Vicente.
No, for sure. And I think, you know, I like the mentality of Harley. You know, he's aggressive, but just like the champ said, he got to switch up speeds because Vicente kind of picked up on that speed, and now that power is not landing.
Yeah.
And the way you land that fastball is you got to throw that changeup, you got to throw that slider, you got to switch it up. Switch speeds, and then you can throw that fastball when they least expect it.
And it's the shots that you don't see that get your attention the most.
For sure.
Guys, how tough is that though? Is that one of the, you know, one of the finishing touches that advanced fighters can try and control?
Yeah, that's that next level. You know what I mean? You learn it, and this is a good learning experience for Harley, where he's gonna understand like, yo, I can't throw fastballs all the time because, you know, guys like Vicente, guys that are crafty, and as he goes on, he's gonna fight even better competition.
Exactly, and then he can go back and look at the film and, you know, see what the commentators are saying, and then, you know, he can pick up on things.
And agree or disagree with whatever we're saying.
Yeah. Of course. but he's, you know, he's a fighter, man. You know, he wants to take you out, and that's what the fans want to see. You know, a guy going in there, going for the kill. You know, he's not going in there, you know, just trying to box and be pretty. He's really trying to hurt his guy.
Harley
Medeiros want to see that in the fight.
With a fan-friendly style, no doubt. And he catches him again with the left hand, and that's going to do it. Alan Huggins coming in, waving the fight off.
And you see that was the switch-up. He started to put a little more together. Everything wasn't hard in that sequence right there. It was, you know, a couple fast shots in there.
Yeah.
So Harley says, let's ride, and he gets the 4th round stoppage here in Vegas.
That was a good statement right there for Medeiros.
5th career KO as Harley Medeiros improves to 6-0 by taking out Pedro Vicente here in Las Vegas.
And Vicente didn't complain. I mean, like, you know, the referee stopped the fight. Usually when there's a bad stoppage, the fighter kind of like, you know, complain about it. You know, he was out.
Took a lot of big shots.
You see the markup underneath the right eye of Vicente as well. Medeiros picking up the 4th round TKO, improving to 6-0. A pair of knockdowns over the first 2 rounds.
I can see Vicente getting a call back, you know, to fight other prospects on the build-up.
He's a 35-year-old out of Puerto Rico, has 2 day jobs. He works for the mayor in his hometown of Mayagüez. He owns a landscaping business. He's been fighting more and more in the U.S. He says, yeah, it's got to make sense if you're going to get me away from Puerto Rico. And for these types of fights, you can see why he's going to get callbacks, because he brings it to these young pros. But Medeiros, the story, with a good output of power. The Bushwick native will go back home to Brooklyn at 6-0, but not before he sits back and watches his friend Richardson Hitchins in the main event later tonight on DAZN.
Medeiros improves to 6-0. Vicente falls to 7-7-1. And he's now dropped 5 in a row. But that's a record that shouldn't, it'll fool a lot of people. And we're going to see that again in our next fight as well with Jose Cruz. Do not let the record fool you. And that's why you have to go a little bit deeper than what the BoxRec page tells you.
Exactly. Definitely got to do your homework.
So Harley Medeiros picks up another stoppage win. We're moments away from making it official here at the Blue Live Theater. And we are ready to roll and make it official. Here is David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Alan Huggins calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 40 seconds of round number 4. Declaring your winner by TKO, he's still undefeated, Dennis the Menace Harley Medeiros.
Protects that undefeated mark, improving to 6-0. Starting off our show here on Before the Bell in Vegas in style. A 4th round TKO over Pedro Vicente. Came out really throwing gangbusters in the opening round or two, and it paid off. Picked up 2 knockdowns against Vicente. As we take a look at some of the fight highlights, Gabe, what stands out to you the most about the performance from Medeiros?
Man, what I like is, he goes in there, he's going for the kill. And I like that, this is the hurt business. You want to go out there and take your opponent out. And, like we said, switch the speeds up, and that sequence that he threw when he got the knockout, he switched up speeds. He threw a good combination, and that's what got him the stoppage.
You see Vicente getting up, dusting himself off, but then after a bounce-back 3rd round from Vicente, Medeiros kicked it up another level, perhaps started to change speeds just a little bit, and then Vicente was in trouble. Huggins, seen enough, waved the fight off as we have wrapped up our first bout here on Before the Bell. One more still to go. Gabe Rosado, Ray Ford, Justin Shackle with you on Before the Bell. The main event coming up later tonight, Richardson Hitchins, Gustavo Lemos, all part of the main card on DAZN, coming up at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific. So Medeiros victorious there. I want to go back to that, the aspect of changing speeds. Who's someone that you admire the most that does a really good job of that right now?
Right now, I can say Terrence Crawford.
Yeah. What about you, Gabe?
That's a good one. Yeah. I think Tank Davis does that well. Tank Davis, man, he sets you up with kind of just touching you up a little bit before you see it. He just throws that big shot, gets you out of there.
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford, not a bad pick for sure, and Tank Davis as well, 2 of the best on the pound-for-pound list. And that's where some of the fighters are right now, that the fighters on this card want to crack out. We talk about some of the best names at 140 pounds. Devin Haney, Subriel Matias. They obviously have the hardware that Richardson Hitchins wants right now. And we have Matias coming up against Liam Paro June 15th. Out of the big hitters at 140 pounds, the glamour divisions here in the sport of boxing at super lightweight. Gabe, who is the toughest out in your opinion?
And the 140 division, man, is loaded. It's loaded. You got Haney, you got Tank. Oh man, Hitchins, man, it's a great. Teofimo Lopez, we keep on going, man. This is crazy. So it's the golden era of the 140 division right now, man. So it's great.
It's all happened smoothly over the last year or so. Some fighters moving up to 140, and it's set up an incredible next few months here in 2024. But it's only a couple of weeks away that we're going to have that brawl in Brooklyn between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia on DAZN.
Fight to the amateurs, no doubt. We need to fight. Hey, we're good fighters. Let's fight.
Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 20th. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia.
These two have been going back and forth since the amateur days.
2 generational talents, the world at their feet.
Let's make the fight happen now. This one is going to be a grudge match.
Set to ignite. Devin the Dream Haney, living the dream, multiple world champion, undefeated.
I am the man. It's time for me to show the world how great I really am.
Ryan Garcia, lightning fast, explosive, unmissable, going all in.
This is the year I shocked the world.
A world championship is on the line, but only one can wear the crown.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation. I'm telling you, it's special.
This one Alex. Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 20th.
You want a real fight? You can fight me.
April 20th, not too far along now. Only 2 weeks until we are at the Barclays Center for Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. I know 2 weeks is 2 weeks, but we can make some picks now. I mean, for that fight, big one at 140 pounds. Who you like in that one as we get closer and closer to fight night?
I like Devin Haney. You know, I'm going to always go with the sharper, smarter boxer. And I just feel like he's just, his focus is on another level right now, and I'm not too sure about Ryan.
What about you?
I agree with the champ, man. I think, you know, Haney's locked in, he's focused, he's sharp. And, you know, Ryan is just a little distracted. He got skills, he has the talent, but I just don't like where his mind is at right now. I'm with Haney.
You know, someone, it was Richardson, actually, earlier this week in the Fight Week interviews. He was talking about this fight. He said he believed that Ryan Garcia had the more natural boxing attributes, but Devin Haney has taken it to another level with the drive, the urgency, and the overall boxing skills. And I was talking about the urgency factor of a young fighter's career with you yesterday, because I know you possess that.
Yeah.
Richardson has shown that he's possessing it, and it's getting stronger and stronger. I don't know, I see you in the same group, and I'm not just saying that because you're standing next to me. I see you guys in the same group as Devin Haney, with that focus, that drive, that urgency. What are the ingredients that go into that for you to stay disciplined and keep that focus?
For me, it's just, you know, me not wanting to be beaten by anybody. I want to be the best, and I'm competing with my peers, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Richardson Hitchins, you know, all the, you know, young guys that's, you know, out there to be the best, and, you know, that's on the top. I'm competing with those guys. I want to outperform them, and I want to make my name bigger than theirs, so that's what drives me.
See, if Richardson...
Yeah, well, for sure. I think a thing is, like, you know, Ryan, he might be better skill-wise, but in boxing, it's about your mentality, the grit, and the work ethic. You know, think about a fighter like Bernard Hopkins, who really didn't have all the skills in the world, but he had the dedication and the discipline, and he became one of the best middleweights in the world. So I really think it comes down to mindset and grit.
Obviously, it's also about who you're facing, but maybe more important, when you're facing them. And like you mentioned, what we're seeing from Devin Haney, the workouts uphill on the sand, bare feet in the trenches like that, it's all very impressive. And that one will be coming up about 2 weeks from now over in Brooklyn at Barclays Center. Richardson Hitchins, Gustavo Lemos, the main event tonight as two undefeated fighters go at it. You have very much a big question mark over Gustavo Lemos because he's in large part unknown. The 29-0 record is there. The knockout power is there. And you know, you come from that pedigree. In some ways, it does remind you a little bit of Chino Maidana.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah,
and we've seen him around here Fight Week, and I'm not just saying that because it's two Argentines, but there was a lot of unknown about a guy like Maidana, and now you have Lemos here in a fight against a promising 140-pounder in Hitchins.
No, for sure. You can't sleep on a guy like Gustavo. He packs a punch. He's aggressive. But I think Hitchins is too sharp, too smart, but he can't sleep on him because it only takes one punch in boxing.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I just think Richardson Hitchins is on a different level. I don't think his opponent, you know, seeing the style that he's bringing to the table. So, yeah, I'm going with Richardson Hitchins with that fight.
Hitchins, Lemos coming up later tonight. Here's a look at else what is coming up for you this evening here from Vegas and on DAZN later on this month. Next week it is Gil Barrett, and then you have April 27th, May 25th, Taylor Catterall 2, and then, of course, a little bit later on in the month of May, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. You have Haney, Garcia coming up in 2 weeks. So it is a loaded calendar here in the late spring and early summer months on DAZN. We will have one more fight on our Before the Bell card. Fighters are slowly getting in place as it'll be Steven Navarro going up against Jose Lopez. And we're going to have a promising young Mexican-American prospect, Cristic Bazaldua, who you've seen on a number of Matchroom fight cards. He's going to be joining us for the commentary in that one. He and Steven Navarro pretty close from the LA area, and they are also very close with Diego Pacheco through the years. And this is how I put Diego's youth into proper context. You have a 23-year-old, you have a 20-year-old, and Steven Navarro about to make his first pro ring walk. You have Cristic Bazaldua, who's very much in his early 20s. It just shows you how young Diego Pacheco is.
No, it's crazy, man. I sparred with Diego when he was like 16. Wow. And the funny thing is he comes from he's with the camp of Benavidez, and I used to spar David Benavidez when he was 15 back in Arizona. So it's crazy, man.
The Benavidez clan is here over at the Fontainebleau Hotel. Saw them on our way in before the Bell broadcast began, so they will be in full force as Diego Pacheco looks to improve to 21-0 and pick up his 10th straight stoppage as he takes on the undefeated Sean McCalman at 15-0. He picked up a big win over Money Powell on the overtime card in August, which was also obviously on DAZN. And the thing I like about McCalman, he's coming throughout this week with a full head of confidence. He's been all business. And again, the competition that he's faced hasn't been at the level that you would associate with a big title contender or someone who's above that prospect level. But 15-0 is 15-0. He has 7 KOs. He's been all business. He's a pure athlete, former martial artist, former quarterback in football. When you have that question mark over your opponent's head, I know you're confident in yourself, but when you see the O next to your opponent's record, what goes through your mind?
I'm sorry.
What goes through your mind when you see the undefeated record with your opponent?
Oh, you know, at the end of the day, man, it is
getting loud in here.
It's just another guy in front of you. Sorry, the music's really loud. It's just another guy in front of you. You know, when you just have to behave like a fighter. It doesn't matter what the record is. And you know, there's guys like, you know, Floyd Mayweather said that one of his toughest opponents was Emmanuel Augustus, who had about, 30-something losses.
A lot of losses.
You know, so in boxing, man, any given day, anything can happen. So undefeated or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just be prepared, be ready, stay locked in.
I agree 100%. A record is just a record. You still got to go in there and perform no matter who it is. You got to prepare the same way, and you should get the results that you work hard for in the gym.
Just a small measurement of McCalman's confidence that he's shown this week. The final face-off, he stepped an inch closer to Pacheco in the second half of that stare down with Diego. So he is showing the confidence for sure. Pacheco, McCalman in the co-feature. Main card coming up at 8 Eastern. Right now, we are going to conclude our Before the Bell broadcast with our second bout. Steven Navarro, Jose Lopez. Let's get the fighters in the ring. Here is David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set to go with a special super flyweight attraction. Now entering the arena from Ridgewood, New York, please welcome self-made Jose Lopez.
.25-year-old Jose Lopez is 4-2-3. He's originally from Puebla, Mexico. He grew up in the boroughs of New York City, first in the Bronx, now in Ridgewood, Queens, and he has not tasted victory since December of 2022. But since that win, Lopez fought 2 highly successful amateurs in Jesus Martinez and Ioannis Argiagos to split draws. Lopez felt rushed early on in his career. It led to him changing everyone in his boxing circle, and with his current trainer Moises Guzman, Lopez has not lost a fight. He's been matched up with more experienced fighters in the past, and he feels it served him well against the young fighters with big amateur pedigrees, such as Steven Navarro.
And now, entering the arena and set to make his very first ring walk as a professional from Los Angeles, California, Kid Dynamite, Steven Navarro.
There is a look at Steven Navarro making his first ring walk as a pro, his debut on a Matchroom card after a decorated amateur career that saw him capture 13 national championships and 2 international medals. He's a Mexican-American fighter out of Inglewood, just turned 20 on March 19th, trains at the Matchroom Churchill Gym in LA, and he's coached by his father, Refugio, who is a former pro himself, his uncle, Jose. Multiple cousins are no strangers to the pro game either. Navarro says to expect a lot of adjustments as the match goes on, and that when he is locked in and looking comfortable in the ring, just know he's thinking about jazz music. And the famous musician Jelly Roll Morton once said jazz is to be played sweet, soft, and with plenty of rhythm. And that's what Navarro hopes to bring in his debut performance in Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Fontainebleau here in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, live on DAZN, we are set to go with our next bout of the evening, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by BetOnline, Stagefront, Everlast, and Riyadh Season. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside: Tim Cheatham, Patricia Morse-Jarman, and Corey Santos. And at the sound of the bell, your 3rd man in the ring, referee Robert Hoyle. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears the blue trunks with the white trim. He scaled 114.8 pounds. His professional record: 4 wins, 2 defeats with 3 draws. He hails from Ridgewood, New York. Please welcome self-made Jose Lopez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the royal blue trunks with the white piping. He's scaled already 115.6 pounds. Tonight, he makes his much anticipated professional debut, fighting out of the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California, Kid Dynamite, Steven Navarro.
Whenever your instructions in the dressing room, any punches on the waistline here is good, anything here is good. I want you to obey my commands, touch them up, scoot back.
You can hear the family and friends behind Steven Navarro as he's set to make his pro debut against Jose Lopez. And joining Gabe Rosado and myself is the 4-0 Christek Basil Dua. Christek, great to see you.
Great to see you guys too.
Welcome to Vegas. And like we said, Christek, Steven Navarro all grew up with Diego Pacheco, and now one of your peers making his pro debut. What was that first ring walk like for you?
No, man, it was more than mesmerizing. Being able to walk out, I walked that out in Mexico. It was great to come out of my home roots, and now right here we see Steven very composed as well. He's looking very sharp. Just want to see the timing and everything, how he's going to accommodate to the pros.
Navarro getting a quick left hand, left cross in the opening moments against Lopez.
Nice overhand right by Navarro, switching from orthodox.
And Navarro said to expect a lot of adjustments as the matches goes on. High punch output. He likes to switch often. He feels like he's able to slow down everything that his opponent is bringing to him. We mentioned it. Don't get fooled by that 4-2-3 record from Lopez as he cracks Navarro with a right hand.
Yeah, Lopez looks pretty sharp himself. You know, just staying nice and steady with a jab. Good movement.
He's showed himself to be a fighter on these Matchroom shows, to be a fighter who comes to win. He finishes strong, makes life difficult for his opponent. So this is a good piece of matchmaking for a decorated amateur making his pro debut.
Ooh, nice left uppercut by. No, that was a right uppercut by Navarro.
Cracked Lopez and then put together a healthy combo.
you could also see Steven loves to switch from stances. Southpaw to orthodox is always like to move one way or another.
In a pinch, too. Navarro, tall, lanky. He competed as an amateur at 125 pounds. He said that's pretty much what needed to be done, the sacrifices that he had to make to be on Team USA. But that was like his walk-around weight. So now, making his pro debut at super flyweight, the weight cut, not a problem.
No, he looks good, nice and strong.
Hands at 5'6", and again unloads a 3-punch combo on Lopez. Good head movement from Lopez, getting out of the way of the left hand. This is our second fight on Before the Bell. Main card begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Mark Castro will lead it off against Abraham Montoya.
You can see that the speed from Navarro is giving Lopez trouble. He's trying to time him, man, but you know that speed is just too sharp.
A sound opening round to the pro career of Steven Navarro. There you see Steven's father, Refugio, who is his head coach. He's introduced Steven to boxing right around when he was 10 years old. He was also a pro boxer. His brother, Steven's uncle, Jose Navarro, 2000 Sydney Games Olympian for Team USA, two-time challenger for the WBC super flyweight title. We take a look at some of the action from the opening bell.
That was a nice one too right there by Lopez. But Navarro came, you know, switching southpaw orthodox, being effective on both sides, landing good uppercuts.
Start of round 2 between Navarro and Lopez. Navarro in the dark blue trunks and Lopez in the royal blue with the Mexican flag on the side.
See Lopez starting this round, trying to be a little more aggressive, probably trying to close the gap and take away that speed from Navarro.
Navarro letting the hands go. And going upstairs, doubling up the hooks to the body.
You're able to see Steven puts his combinations really well together. And he starts and finishes. He likes to counter as well. He's very well rounded.
Turns Lopez's chin right that one, but an elbow as well.
You know, Lopez got some decent skill, man, but Navarro's just too explosive for him. You know, he just can't match that speed.
You could tell Navarro studied his opponent well. Lopez trying to find a home for that right hand to the body. That's been a punch that he really does favor, but Navarro's not giving up that area. Instead, he's inflicting some of the body blows on Lopez.
Yeah,
caps it off with another right hand, and another right hand on the chin moments ago.
And it seems like, you know, Navarro switches southpaw to orthodox, but he's more effective on the southpaw side in this fight.
Chris Dick, do you think Navarro favors being in southpaw more?
Yeah, I believe so as well. Also, his opponent, Lopez, was probably preparing for him to come out as an orthodox, so it might have given him a little disadvantage, and now Steven's just changing it up.
It's interesting because Navarro's not really getting hit much, but he gets red. His face is like reddening up and his sides marks up pretty easy.
Navarro trying to come in, and he does successfully there with that left hand. And Lopez doing his best to try and walk through some of these shots. And you see he's got a stone-cold demeanor in front of Navarro. Another left hand lands in the body from Navarro.
Yeah, like you said, Justin, I love how Steven works the body. Most amateurs that rarely turn pro, they're looking to headhunt and get the knockout, but Steven's working to the body really well.
Goes over the top of the right hand. A bunch of things with the right hand in one sequence.
That was a great right hand combination. He went to the body with a right hook and quickly came up top.
And now look at the work. Steven Navarro, Kid Dynamite, picking up some volume in Las Vegas.
there's definitely no pro debut jitters. I mean, he's on a roll.
Punctuating that second round with a number of flurries against Jose Lopez. There you see Moises Roman and Mitch Graham in the corner of Jose Lopez, Francisco Guzman as well. We mentioned Lopez not having a lot of amateur experience. He felt like he rushed through things late in his amateur career, early in his pro career. Didn't feel like he had the right support group behind him, and he made a change in his team after his second pro loss. And since then, it's been 3 wins, 2 draws, again against high-pedigreed amateurs who are young pros. And here, in a fight against Steven Navarro, who's making his pro debut, he faces an uphill battle as we start round 3. Scheduled for 6 to close out or before the bell show here at the Fontainebleau. Good uppercut out of the gate from Jose Lopez.
You know, Navarro has a great punch output in the way he just mixes the shots. It's right hooks, uppercuts, overhand rights, left hooks. It's, you know, he's throwing shots from all kinds of angles, and he switches up speed as well. You know, so everything's not hard, but there's just great speed in his combinations.
Christek, how often have you sparred with Steven Navarro?
Oh, no, man. It's been a while since I last sparred Steven. It was probably when I was barely starting high school, end of middle school. Yeah, but we've known each other since we were little kids. Him, me, a lot of other amateurs. We always grew up with Diego as well. It was always great.
I thought it was really cool at the press conference Thursday. Diego made it a point to holler at Steven Navarro, gave him a shout out, making his pro debut. I know he's been there for you in similar scenarios and instances along your young journey here as a pro.
Yeah, he kind of set the blueprint for us. Coming out of South Central LA, he gave us a way out, and we all just got to take from it and succeed. Just keep prospering.
Lopez answers with a left counter.
Lopez takes a good punch, man, because Navarro's sitting on these shots, you know, putting full motion into them.
I also wanted to ask you, Gabe, what was on your mind when you first made the pro debut?
My pro debut?
Yeah.
My pro debut, the guy was, he came in heavy, 10 pounds over.
Okay. It's crazy.
But I sold a bunch of tickets, man, so I fought him anyway. He was a big dude, man. He was like a bodybuilder. But I knocked him out in the first round, so it worked out.
That's great.
Good punishment for a guy being unprofessional.
Yeah.
Hey, 10 pounds overweight.
Great body work from Steven. Switching it upstairs, downstairs, really good.
The combo variations and the volume, obviously, you don't want to bat your eyes on it, but it's fascinating how Jose Lopez continues to walk through some of these combos.
You know, this is a good, you know, a pro debut. This is a tough guy in Lopez, skilled guy. And for Navarro to just be so comfortable and fight at this rhythm, man, it just shows a lot of the kind of fighter that he is.
End of round number 3. And for Steven Navarro, punches and bunches here in Vegas. Credit Jose Lopez, sticking tough, continuing to come forward. You have to wonder, though, as this fight progresses and gets into the second half, will that be his undoing as he's monitored here in the corner by the doctors?
Man, that's a good shot right there for Navarro. He goes right hook and then right uppercut. It's like a Mike Tyson shot right there. It's my boy Marvin in the corner. Shout out to Marvin.
Marvin Matsumoto. Navarro has trained at all those famous LA gyms that you two are obviously accustomed to, familiar with. And back at the Matchroom Churchill boxing gym right now. Throws a stiff left hand right to the face of Lopez to start off round number 4.
Steven starting this round southpaw as well, switching it up.
Stop! Break! You gotta let your hands go, bro.
Steve, if you have an opponent who continues to eat your shots and also continues to keep coming forward, how do you adjust?
You know, you just keep doing what Navarro's doing. You know, stick to the game plan and stay disciplined, because you can get bored sometimes because you're dominated so easily where, you know, you can kind of get lackadaisy, make a mistake and get caught. So you don't want to do that. You want to stay focused.
A series of right uppercuts smear in the face of Lopez.
Ooh, nice.
And a right hook followed by another uppercut from Navarro. He is finding the holes here on Jose Lopez. And again, a chopping right hand.
And just by the variations of punches that Navarro throws and the different angles, he has good imagination. You know, to be able to put these shots together like that, man, that just says a lot of his mindset of the kind of fighter he is, and he's creative and just creating these shots.
Also seeing top-notch hand placement, getting his glove just behind the goal. Some of these shots of Jose Lopez.
Good defense too. You know, he's rolling these shots, catching these shots with his hands and elbows, counter shooting.
There's another one.
Nice angle. You know, he almost landed that shot, man, but it was a good angle, creating an opening to throw that right hook. And it's frustrating, man, when you're hitting the guy with these hard shots and he's not going anywhere, man.
He's coming.
Yeah. You know, usually guys start a pro debut with a guy that, you know, pretty much is, you know, we call him cab driver.
Yeah, cab driver.
but yeah, Lopez is tough.
And on top of that, Steven's not starting with 4 rounds, starting with a 6-round fight. It just shows the pedigree he came out of the amateurs with, and he just wants to start quick and start fast.
Sure.
Yeah, this was something Navarro wanted, a 6-rounder to start off his pro career. Check right hand, again, meets the cheek of Lopez.
Even his foot position is just always on point. He always knows to put his lead foot outside when he's a southpaw. Everything's going good right now for Steven.
We're through 4 here in Vegas, and it has been a successful pro debut to this point for Steven Navarro.
Man, there's that good Mike Tyson shot right there, the rip in the right to the body and then coming up top at the uppercut.
Again, finding the placement with shots like that right hand moments ago, went right behind the left glove of Lopez. We've seen a number of those. Give credit to Lopez continuing to come forward. No quit in the 25-year-old.
Yeah, Lopez is a warrior. He just, no matter what, he can come forward, no matter what.
For sure, he's trying, man. He's trying.
2-punch combo right at the start of round number 5 from Steven Navarro. Again, scheduled for 6, Navarro's pro debut against Jose Lopez.
Stop! Opposite. Here we go.
Lopez right in front of him.
Another thing from the opening bell, you can notice Steven got his timing down real quick. He got his opponent's timing down and it's great distance already. He came in ready.
No, for sure. Good body shot right there.
What does that do for a fighter when you're able to, I hate saying the cliche phrase, but when you're able to download all of that info early on. What does that do for your confidence?
No, it helps you a lot because once you get kind of like your opponent's timing down and his what he likes to do, his patterns, it helps you pick your shots way better, and you get to walk him down more. You know your distance very well. There's a lot of things that happen as you can analyze as the fight goes on.
Does it slow down the action in front of you?
Definitely, man. It slows down the pace. You know, the fight can be action-packed, throwing 100 punches of rounds, but you know, when you got a guy's timing down, it's like all slow motion. You're just in a rhythm.
Like how Steven said, you just flowing. Like how he said when he's just thinking about the jazz song, he's just flowing in that ring.
Steven calls it being in the Matrix.
That's a great word.
Able to just everything that comes at him, he says it's slower in his eyes. And he is in full control here in his pro debut. Again, against the game and battle-tested Jose Lopez.
Lopez just keeps coming forward no matter what.
And Navarro doesn't miss, man. The accuracy's on point. You know, he's not wasting shots. He's throwing a lot of shots, but they're landing. Look at that short left uppercut, followed with the right hook. And I like that. You see that slip and counter immediately. You know, sometimes guys slip, but they don't counter. You know, he slips and he makes you pay.
During the fighter meetings, Lopez thought Navarro was going to use the skills that carried him in the amateurs. And like Jesus Martinez, who he fought last year, also another Cuban bronze medalist in the Olympics, Lopez felt like he was going to be able to walk through Navarro's punches and keep bringing the pressure. But he's just absorbing more and more punishment here because he's not throwing as many punches as he threw in those two previous fights.
And you know, Navarro's fighting a pro style. You know, he's not pop shotting or trying to just score points. He's throwing punches with mean intentions. You know, he's trying to get you out of there.
This is a young pro who has adapted to the pro game seamlessly. It's like he's been waiting for this.
His style is meant for the pros. Right here, man, just good quick counter shots.
The bags of ice are growing in the Lopez corner. There again, Steven's father and head trainer, Refugio.
I'll tell you, those big bags of ice, man, keep you in the game. That's an old school thing. You know, sometimes I see corners with little in-swells and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, man, just bring a big bag of ice.
I might have to get that out for my next fight.
No,
I haven't ever get that.
Big bag of ice, man, like right in the back of your neck, on your face, man. It's great.
And on your chest as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Sixth and final round between Navarro and Lopez here in Vegas. Lopez again continuing to move forward on Navarro.
Navarro's just showing good stamina. You know, he hasn't lost his step. You know, his speed is the same, the movement. He's in full control. Looks like he can go 10 rounds easy.
Navarro with the head movement along the ropes. Punches have certainly slowed down from Lopez as he eats a left hand from Navarro. And another left hand, eaten flush. Steven Navarro, a little burst here in round 6.
Man, that's a great, simple move that he just did right there with when he switched the angles to avoid a body shot. It's crafty stuff.
Well, the combos have slowed down a bit in round 6 for Navarro, but the punches that he is landing, those single shots, they are finding a home.
Nice.
And another one off the angle out.
Yep, it's a great angle. Followed up with that hook.
It's like he's trying to sit down more in his punches this last round. He's trying to get the show done.
Yeah.
He has about 90 seconds to try and get this stoppage. Navarro, the young Mexican-American, takes a low blow out of Inglewood. shining in his pro debut as he rocks Lopez with another left hook.
It's a great slick counter shot. Man, this is great basics and fundamentals, man. Great boxing by Navarro.
So 45 seconds to go here in the 6th and final round. And Navarro again, left hand that finds the mark. Ooh, big right hand. That lands from Navarro.
Lopez felt that. He held on. Yeah, Lopez is hurt by that shot.
Wobbly legs for Jose Lopez. 25 seconds to go. Can Navarro, Kid Dynamite, stop the show? And he does. A good stoppage from Robert Boyle. And in his pro debut, Kid Dynamite throws the bombs and gets the victory here in Vegas.
Great pro debut for Steven. Looked great. Dominated each and every round. Great show.
Man, he has a fun style. Fun style, man. Bunch of punches, combinations, great footwork. This guy's fun to watch.
Jose Lopez being stopped for the first time. And it was that right hand that started it, that wobbled Lopez. Navarro sensed it, and so did the official in the ring as Navarro picks up the stoppage in the 6th round.
And he showed that killer instincts. Once he hurt Lopez, man, he just backed him up immediately to the ropes and let his hands go.
So Steven Navarro in his pro debut, now 1-0. We'll go back to Inglewood and continue his training. I mean, he said he wants to work frequently here in 2024. He wants about 5 fights before the end of the year.
Nice counter shot, man. I think that was the one that started the damage, because right there Lopez held on, and he just goes and attacks the body up top with the head, doubling up on the hook. It's a good stoppage, you know. It was just a matter of time he was going to go down.
He got some rounds in too. Got all 6 rounds in. Just great show.
And in with a tough opponent, not a cab driver, as the gentleman mentioned.
No, man, that was you know, Lopez is a real fighter.
Yeah, this was a good experience for an amateur making their pro debut. I think you got a bit of everything.
You can see, man, Lopez he's disappointed, man, because, you know, he really came to win.
I would like to see more of Lopez.
Yeah, for sure. He's not a bad fighter. Navarro's just on another level.
And Navarro, that level established by the amateur pedigree. 13 national amateur championships. Silver medal at the Pan American Games in 2021. He's from LA. He had no interest in waiting around for the 28 games that will take place in Los Angeles. He wanted to get his pro career going. He does here tonight on a matchroom card and picks up the stoppage in the 6th round over Jose Lopez.
I think he made the right choice going pro.
It'll be just fine.
Yep.
So we're just about ready to make this official in the ring. And a 6th-round TKO for Steven Navarro. There you see his father, Refugio, his manager, Sherry Mooney in the background on the apron. And in the next 8 months, he wants at least 5 fights. Wants to work quick. Do the math, he'd probably be fighting twice a month if he gets his way.
Hey, man, I like that activity, you know. I like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Robert Hoyle calls a halt to this contest The official time of the stoppage, 2 minutes, 42 seconds of the sixth and final round. Declaring your winner by TKO, Kid Dynamite, Steven Navarro.
Man, he's nice.
Yeah, bro. I was watching.
What weight was that?
115.
Oh shit, he's nice.
There you see the group posing for a photo in what Steven Navarro hopes to be the first of many post-victory in-ring photographs with he and his team as we take a look at some of the action from our second and final bout here on Before the Bell at the Fontainebleau. And Navarro poised here in his pro debut, and the confidence pouring out from the get-go here from Steven Navarro. Gabe, what stood out to you the most in this performance with Navarro?
Man, so what stood out to me, man, was just, it's his pro debut. You didn't see no jitters. You know, he went right to it, throwing combinations, switching, good defense. You saw a little bit of everything, and he got the knockout.
A tough opponent in Jose Lopez who kept moving forward here. And we had Christek Bazaldua on commentary with us. Well, now we have Ray Ford back in studio. Ray, you watch these highlights, and what jumps out at you?
Yeah, everything. He was doing everything great. I was watching it on the side. He looked real poised, like Gabe said. Yeah, for my pro debut, I was real nervous. When I watched him, it looked like he'd been here before. So, yeah, he's a star in the making.
Yeah, from the first few steps from the ring walk, you could tell there weren't too many nerves. If there were, he wasn't showing them.
Yeah, man.
And this is where it all stopped. Again, in that sixth and final round, it was the right hand that rattled Lopez. It brought him forward and kind of clenched Steven Navarro. And Gabe, you said it, that showed him that he could press the gas and try and close it out with only 30 seconds to go.
Absolutely.
So he picked up on his opponent's reaction.
Yeah, I love that killer instinct. As soon as he saw his opponent was hurt, he jumped right on top of him and took him out of there.
All right, that will do it for our bouts on Before the Bell. So Harley Medeiros picks up a stoppage win in his sixth pro bout. He improves to 6-0 as he defeats Pedro Vicente. You saw Navarro pick up a win in his pro debut. Here's what you have coming at you. Starting at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, the main card beginning on Before the Bell. Mark Castro and Abraham Montoya for the WBC Continental Americas title at 130 pounds. Castro goes for his first pro title, and then it is a world title opportunity. The vacant WBC featherweight championship on the line as Sky Nicholson and Sarah Mahfoud will tangle here in Vegas, both fighting in Las Vegas for the first time in their respective careers. Galal Yafai looking to continue his chase toward the top at the 112-pound division. He will look to make a fifth consecutive successful title defense of his WBC international strap against another tough Argentine, the 21-1 Agustin Guado. And then it is the co-feature that we were been talking about, Diego Pacheco, Sean McCallum. Pacheco 20-0, trying to go for his 10th consecutive stoppage. McCallum enters this fight at 15-0. And then the main event in boxing's hottest division fight, that will mean a whole lot and have a lot of IBF title implications. It is the title eliminator at super lightweight, Richardson Hitchins and Gustavo Lemos. Hitchins at 17-0, Lemos at 29-0. These two top-rated fighters by the IBF, they are looking ahead and hopefully getting that world title opportunity, powering a victory tonight for Hitchins. Like we mentioned, he's rated third by the IBF. That's only because it is the top spot that you could be rated at, because the top two are vacant. So he will be going up against the 7th rated Lemos here. As we wrap up and we look ahead to the main card quickly, one last thought on what you're looking forward to most tonight.
I'm looking forward to, see if Richardson Hitchins step on the gas and, try to step to this guy and break him down and eventually stop him.
Yeah, I want to see the same thing, and I'm interested in seeing what Pacheco brings to the table. I think he's going to be better. He's going to prove himself to be one of the top guys in the 168 division.
Oh, it's going to be happening in a new and exciting venue, and these fighters are hoping for new and exciting ventures as they try and take care of business tonight and continue to push their name across into the conversation in their respective weight classes for world title contention. So that's going to do it for us here on Before the Bell. For Gabe Rosado, for the featherweight champ Ray Ford, I'm Justin Shackle. We will talk to you soon, and stay tuned for Hitchins and Lemos coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern on DAZN.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.